Good morning, good looking people. And you're good looking because you're always looking. And of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you had a great week, a successful week. Hope everything is going well in your lives. And it's Erev Shabbos. Today is the 8th of Elul. And the Hayom Yom today has so much going on in it. You know, if you would just read it like I have for many, many years without doing any of the background, you never really see what the messages are that actually apply to today's Hayom Yom. So I'm going to try to break it down, give a little bit of it up front, and then give a message at the end, and as we go through the Hayom Yom. Today's Hayom Yom is all about the Tzemach Tzedek, and in 1843 there was a rabbinical conference in Petersburg. Not a conference that you would think that just all the rabbis are getting together and talk things over. It was actually a big conference with the government. And the government was very insistent about changing the curriculum of the Jewish community and instituting all these non-Jewish subjects and ideas to be learned as part of the Jewish education. And the Tzemach Tzedek fought the government multiple times, especially in this conference, and he was arrested multiple times. It was a pretty intense environment, and he was successful. So the concept of today is, first of all, what went into the success of the Tzemach Tzedek? And he talks about that in today's Hayom Yom, and we'll discuss that. And ideally, what's happening is that anytime that we have to prepare for something, it's important to know that we're not alone. Hashem is with us. Our Rebbeim are with us. You know, if we go back to Parshas Va'era, and specifically the 28th of Tevis is where it's mentioned the Hayom Yom, that in Parshas Va'era, that's where Moshe had to prepare to go to fight Paro in the palace, that he was going to tell Paro to let the Jewish people go. And what did he do? He had to prepare. He had to come up with all these different miracles, from the snake and putting his hand in his coat, to prepare to be effective at this meeting. And that Hashem told him, I will be with you and I will give you signs. One of the very important messages of today in this Hayom Yom is that the Rebbes and the Rebbeim are with us at all times. And it's mentioned that as we learn the Rebbeim's teachings and the Rebbeim's manuscripts and Torah, the more we learn them, the more we are connected to them. And they are a part of us. Let's read the Hayom Yom, and then I'm going to share a little bit more, and then we'll go to the comment of the day. So for the Hayom Yom of the 8th of Elul, please remember the 3 extra Tehillim. Today is going to be 22, 23, and 24, or Chav Beis, Chav Gimel, and Chav Dalet. So the Tzemach Tzedek enumerated 3 factors in whose merit he was successful at the rabbinical conference in Petersburg in 1843. One of them was the 32,000 hours that he had toiled in studying the discourses of the Alter Rebbe over a period of 30 years. So essentially it's like 3 hours a day for 30 years to accomplish 32,000 hours. And this took place from 1804 until 1834. In 1804, he established a fixed session for the study of those Maimarim, and in 1834, work began on their publication. So it says, and what we're commenting today is that, first of all, that Tzemach Tzedek was successful because he had the Alter Rebbe with him. By studying the manuscripts of the Alter Rebbe, he was successful. And it says that no one knows where the burial place of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Moshe was buried on a mountain. We don't know where it is. However, it says in the Zohar, you want to find where Moshe Rabbeinu is? Learn Mishnayos. He's in the Mishnah. Learn Mishnayos. In the 1920s, in 1920, the Rebbe Rashab, a couple hours before he passed away on Beis Nisan, he was sitting with the students and the Hasidim in the Tamchei Tmimim Yeshiva, and he was mentioning that in a few hours I'm going to pass away and I'm going to Gan Eden. However, I'm leaving you my manuscripts. They stay with you. And the concept of the day, and what the Rebbe Rashab was also talking about, is when you have these manuscripts and you have the teachings of the Rebbeim, when you learn them, you are connected to them. Even if somebody never met the Rebbe before. Myself, I've never met the Rebbe before. as you learn the teachings and as you're involved with them, you are connected to that tzaddik. You're connected to that Rebbe. When you learn the Torah, you're connected to God, and God is with you. And what's very cool about today is that it's a two-way street. It's not only in spiritual fashion, so that we think, okay, so I have a connection with the Rebbe, I'm learning their teachings, so spiritually they will help me. Even more so, what we learn from today's Hayom Yom is that in worldly matters they're helping us too. That Tzemach Tzedek was going against the most difficult and tough government. They were not friendly, and he was successful. And he went with the confidence, but he knew he had the Alter Rebbe with him. And that's really the message of the day, that we all know and we all have these teachings, and we all know about the Torah that's available to us, all the Chassidus that's available to us, all the Torah that's available to us. And with all this, we can connect to the tzaddikim by being involved in their Torahs and being involved in their learning, being involved in their manuscripts. And not only will they help us and connect with us, even as in Gan Eden, as they're going higher and higher, they're still connected to us. And they're connecting to us not only in a spiritual matter, but also in a physical matter. And they're here to help us in our worldly challenges, just like we saw from the Tzemach Tzedek. So have a wonderful day. Have a great Shabbos, and the next time you're learning a Sefer, have in mind whose Torah you're learning. You have a connection with them as you're learning, and they are connected to you as well.